All right, everybody, welcome back to the Aptitude Outdoors podcast. Thanks for tuning back in. Today, I'm talking about a recent trip I took to Washington, D.C. And of course, if you listen to this podcast, you know I brought my fly rods with me. So I'm going to let you know how that went. This is the Aptitude Outdoors podcast, where we interview conservationists, hunters, anglers, and outdoorsmen and women to bring you the greatest stories, information, and advice from the best in the world. So recently went to Washington, D.C. I've only been there briefly in the past. I never went and saw all the sites that you typically go see. Did do some of that stuff there, but anybody who knows me knows that's not really my thing. It's not really what I get excited about, but I did it. Went down. My grandfather got approved to have a burial at Arlington National Cemetery, so that was pretty cool to see. Pretty big honor for him and my family. So we went down there, and we were just going to stay a few extra days, hang out together, see what Washington, D.C. was all about. And I brought my fly rod. I always bring my fly rod. I actually brought two fly rods because sometimes my wife likes to go fishing with me. And I said, you know, do whatever you guys want. Hang out down there. Go do all the touristy stuff that your heart's content. But I'm taking a day to go fishing. That's just a fact. That's what I'm going to do. So there was a Orvis fly shop very close to where we were staying. Wow, that stuff's expensive. Dear Lord. But I did go in and get some flies, and they told me some few spots, which, again, I'm always talking. If you're going to a new place, you don't know what to do, don't know where to fish, just pop into a fly shop or a tackle store or something and, you know, buy something so you don't just walk in and try and get info and roll out. But I buy a couple flies. I asked the guy. He gave me a few lakes to check out. Basically found the one that was closest to where I was staying and decided to go fishing. So my brother actually ended up wanting to go fishing with me as well. So we got some Virginia licenses. We went to this little lake. It was a man-made lake, big dam. Been reading all these bass fishing books about how to fish, reservoirs and stuff. So kind of put some of that information into play in my brain. And then we went out and got after it. It was really awesome. Basically got there mid-afternoon. Of course, you never can get up early and do anything when you're with a group of like 10 people. So didn't go as planned, but we got out there and we started fishing. Immediately caught a couple small bluegill. I caught a bass. Just toying around. There was a lot of covered shoreline. It was mostly like really thick trees. So there weren't that many accessible spots. I mean, we obviously didn't have boats or anything. We just had the fly rods. And there wasn't a lot of open space to cast. And it was really cool to just kind of check out a new area. It was really tough fishing. I didn't see a lot of people there, anyone catch pretty much anything the whole time we were there. So it was nice to at least get something on the line. But that's not the point. It's just getting out there and doing it. I always try and stress, if you're going somewhere and you love fishing or hunting or whatever, just try and get a little bit in while you're out on the road or traveling for work or whatever. It's so easy to pack a fly rod and just take it with you. I have a whole video about this if you guys want to check that out. And the coolest thing is to see my brother be able to catch his first fish on the fly rod. You know, he took to it pretty quickly. It is, you know, as anybody who's done it before, it is a little frustrating at first when you don't really know how to handle it. But that's why you buy cheap rods that you let people use so they can have fun too. And it was really cool to explore that area. And as we were getting ready to leave, we were going to go to dinner or something and walk up the dam. And there's a kind of a trail along the top of the dam that takes you back to where you park. And I looked down and there's an outlet for the dam. And I was like, well, we got like 10 minutes. Let's run down there real quick and cast. And hey, I love hunting, I love fishing, and I love America. And with the 4th of July right around the corner, Uncle Louie's Fireworks wants you to celebrate this holiday responsibly. Uncle Louie's Fireworks is one of the only stores in the area that sells subtle fireworks, which emit less noise but still put on a great show so you can enjoy a fireworks display without alarming wildlife, sensitive pets, and people who are averse to loud noises. They also offer fireworks ignition systems that allow you to set off fireworks with your phone to assure you still have all those very valuable fingers come your favorite hunting and fishing seasons. Uncle Louie's Fireworks, located at 7300 Schnipke Drive, Ottawa Lake, Michigan, just off US 23 Exit 1, wishes you a safe and happy 4th of July. Basically spent 4 hours on the lake, not having a lot of success. Go down to this little outlet of the dam, and it's just a big pipe flowing into a small pool essentially, and then there's a deep pool that formed there, and there's another little pipe and outlet into this little stream. Don't know where it went. And then it was all foamy on top from the continual churning of the water coming out of that pipe. And we caught more bluegill, sunfish in that 10-minute period than we did all day screwing around. It's just one of those things, like, I wish I would have come down here earlier, because when you catch fish, it's obviously more fun. I wasn't expecting to pull any trophy bass out of this lake in a 4-hour period casting from the shore. And I really had a fun time in there. And I got I think I caught 3 or 5 in that 10-minute period. And one of them, I think it was a green sunfish. I don't know. Maybe if you guys are watching this, you can let me know what it is. I didn't really take the time to look it up after, but it was really cool looking fish in there. Definitely a species I had not caught before, and we were just ripping them out of there. It's funny when you're catching fish that small. It's so hard to even feel them sometimes. And I went to pull the fly rod back and send it forward again, and there was a fish on it. It's just like one of those things, like, you can't even feel them. They're so small sometimes, but it was fun. And, I'm just encouraging you guys. Sometimes you're on the road, you're traveling, you go somewhere and you're just tired because your body's all screwed up from traveling, sitting in the car or flying, and not having the right sleep schedule. You're not eating usually right because you're out on the road. But if you take the time to grab a fishing pole or something and go out there, you definitely will not regret it, because the next day we had to be in the car for 8 hours straight. So I needed to get that little mental reset in before we hit the road. And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad to see my brother catch his first fish on the fly rod. And, this summer we got a lot of fishing coming up, and I hope you guys are having a lot of success out there. If you haven't, grab a couple books on fishing. If you're trying to start to get frustrated as the water heats up and the fish become a little bit harder to find sometimes, grab a book. I've been reading this book for a few weeks called Advanced Bass Fishing Tactics or Techniques by John Weiss or something. Learned so much from this book, and I'm putting it into play all summer long, going out there ripping crankbaits, and went out fishing just the other day, 4th of July weekend. And I wasn't catching anything massive. I only had a little bit of time, but I caught 6 bass in a row, and it was really fun. And so take the opportunity when you can. I know it's harder this day and age. Everything's go 24/7, and there's not a lot of time to do all the things you want to do, but just leave a rod in your car or something. If you can pull on the side of the road for a few minutes, just go out there. You will never regret it, even if you don't catch anything. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Hope I'm teaching you some stuff that you didn't know before. Hope you guys can teach me some stuff. And thank you for listening. I will be back soon with another episode. Hey, thanks for listening to the Aptitude Outdoors podcast. If you're getting anything out of this, if you're learning something, if it's helped you in any way, go down in the link below and buy me a coffee. Throw me $1, throw me $2. We greatly appreciate it. Just using it to keep this ship afloat. So thank you very much.